Alright y'all, look, so this video is going to be a little different, okay? Because I have no idea what I'm doing with Gunlance. I have almost never hunted with Gunlance, but TJ told me, man, right before my last upload, before I went to work, he told me, I want to learn the Gunlance next. So, I have to learn Gunlance so I can teach him the Gunlance. I mean, look at this dude, Yo, what are you doing, dog? Just do a full burst. Yo, you wasted the whole down. Look at him. Oh my god. But anyway, this video is going to be a little different because I figure out how the Gunlance works over time, right? Like, I got a better handle on it now than I did in the beginning of the video. So I think it'll be interesting to watch my skill level rise as the video goes on. No pun intended. Anyway, enjoy it. Okay, this sequence coming out, man, it felt as good as it looks. Starting to really get a good feel for the weapon, right? I'm landing these wyvern stakes and these full bursts, and what I'm finding is that this weapon is very explosive. No pun intended. Is that it does a lot of damage in a short amount of time, but not in like a one big number sense like a greatsword, right? Like the wyvern stake blast. I'm about to land one right here, I think. Yeah. Boom, right? 9999999, and then when it pops, it's 77. Like, dude, that's a bunch of damage, but it's just not one big fat number, right? And then, you know, look at a full burst. What is it? 6 shells, and they each do 17 damage each. Like that's a bunch of damage. And then even that wyvern's fire right there. Instead of one big fat number, it's 66 by 3. So I like it. It's different. Alright, so I'm really liking this this Silkbind art right here. It refills all your shells, lands you in a good position to land a full burst quickly, like so quick that I had time to do a wyvern's fire before music started moving again. Really liking that art. It feels really good when you land a full burst and then do that art and then land another full burst right on top. Bunch of damage, right? Like I said, 17 times 12 at that point. Like, yo, bunch of damage, very little time. Feels good, feels good. Alright, so with the lance, right, you got that Silkbind counter. It's even more important as a Gunlance, right? Because I've heard, right, I told you I don't play Gunlance. I've heard that sharpness is a problem with this weapon, right? So with the Gunlance counter, you actually gain like a little bit of sharpness. It's not a whole lot, right? If you look up at the gauge, it's not a whole lot, but it's very easy to land these counters in succession. Only costs 1 wire bug art. And when you get good at fighting whatever it is you're fighting, you start to learn the moves, you can land a bunch of these counters like really quickly. So the sharpness does add up in the end. And I'd wager the counter on the Gunlance is even more important than the lance, because you can get the quickest, I think, wyvern stake from the counter. It's super quick. It usually takes pretty long to get a wyvern stake going, but if you counter and just tap that A button twice, boom, you got it going, right? Or if you counter and you hit X, you get a chance to do a full burst. Super important that you land these counters as Gunlance, man. Super important. I don't even play the weapon, but I could feel how important these counters are to the weapon. And they're new, I think. I'm not sure, but I was really starting to feel myself with this weapon. Loving it. And here lies my biggest problem with the Gunlance, okay? So I block this, right? And look how far away Mizu is from me. And the quickest option for me is to put away the weapon and then run up and get something started. I wish, in the demo at least, that the Gunlance had a mobility option, right? With the lance, it had the Silkbind art where you can tether yourself to the monster, and then, you know, you hit ZL and B and you jump like across the map to get to the monster, right? So you feel really mobile, really agile. The monster's never all that far from you when you have that active. But with the gun lance, I find myself struggling if there's a bit of distance between me and the monster. I'm like, yo, what do I even do? But I did see the trailers and I saw that Blast Dash is what I heard it's called. You know, you turn the lance away from you and you blow it up and you fly across the map like a rocket. So like, yeah, I mean, I guess it's not really an issue because, you know, Blast Dash exists. It's just not in this demo. So I think like the Silkbind arts that most people will probably rock with is that counter. Super important, leads to super big openings, easy to get your biggest, most important moves off, and then Blast Dash for the maneuverability to be where you need to be to get these things off. Oh yeah, so here we go. You can really start to see I start to get like a whole lot more comfortable with using the gun lance. And there's like my mobility issue, right? I land a counter, but I'm just not close enough, and it's too hard to close the gap to really capitalize on it. But you know, whatever. So, you know, doing my thing. Boom, counter, pop, pow, full burst, right? Get another reload. Guess what? Boom, another counter, slap, pow, another full burst. Oh, Mizu feeling that. Got the bubble blight going. I don't know. I'm getting good at using the bubble blight to my advantage. Look at this. You know, saying hop forward. I knew I had the bubble blight, so I knew I was going to keep sliding forward. Kind of close the gap. You know, solve my mobility issue with something that's supposed to be a blight, but you know, you use it for your advantage. And look at that, boom, counter into worm stake. Like I'm really getting comfy with these counters and my options out of them. But yeah, like I said, that counter, super important. Super, super important. I was able to stay in green sharpness because I landed so many of them in succession, like I said before. Super quick, super easy to do when you know the monster you're fighting pretty well. And in this demo, you know, I played 20, 30, I think maybe even 40 hours of just fighting Mizu with different weapons. So I know Mizu pretty in and out at this point. Oh yeah, so with this clip you can kind of see my progression, right? In the beginning of the video, couldn't really capitalize on the down all that well. Didn't pump out a lot of damage because I had no idea what I was doing with this weapon. But, you know, compare that to this right here, and I'm like, yeah, landing these counters, landing these full bursts. I'm like, okay, yeah, I know exactly what I'm about to do. I'm about to get this worm stake and it's gonna hit the head. I'm getting a feel for how big the weapon is. And like not just kind of waffling around with the buttons like what does what, because this weapon has a very specific rhythm to its moves. You know, like if you push certain buttons too quickly, you're not going to get what you're looking for. And I'm starting to get a good feel for the rhythm and what to do with the weapon in certain situations. I'm addicted to improvement. Anytime I see myself improve, I'm there. I love it. Okay, so I'm really feeling myself at this point. Landing this felt incredible, right? So I was like, oh yeah, this is that slow beam. I got time for a Wyvern's Fire. Let's go. Bow, let's get a full burst. Bow, you know. Positioning myself well. Like, check this positioning out. Just a tip. Boom, right? I still get the worm stake while Mizu's swimming around. And bow, that's how the hunt ends, man. It ends explosively. Felt incredible. I had to clip that. Anyway, it's the end of the video, man. Learn the gun lance. Let's see how well I can teach TJ this gun lance, man. It's a little more complicated than the previous weapons we've done, but I'm real confident in him. He'll pick it up, and you know, if he doesn't like it, that's okay. There are 15 other weapons to choose from, so be on the lookout for that father and son, man. TJ learns the gun lance. I'm out.